are just using this place as a dump site.
The way this block has been maintained can sometimes be a bit of an embarrassment to say, oh, I live here, but it's completely out of my control.
Oh man, look how bad this building's become. Look, the neglect is just apparent to see.
Feels like we're stuck in a place and our life has been paused, and I wish I could move on from this situation, but we can't.
There has been lots of security issues, especially in the last year.
So this is the South Acton estate. I've lived here since I was about 2 or 3, so that's about 13 years now. I've loved living here, so many good memories. I remember when I was younger, my parents used to take me and my sister over here, and we used to play on the swings and with other kids for hours. I'd say one of the benefits of living here is just having this wide green space right on your doorstep. And it's nice to just come out here and take in the fresh air.
I live on the 4th floor with my mum, my dad and my sister.
Go on then, make a move.
Our flat may be small, but it has just enough space for the 4 of us. It's our home, our castle, and my mum and dad worked really hard for it.
You want to twice against me?
After marriage, I came here straight away. I live in this house. So many happy time. My children is grown up here, and then family and friends living here. Our house is home, is sweet home.
Salim and Beza, when you were younger, especially when you cry, we used to carry you and show you the view of London. It used to work immediately, you used to stop crying and enjoy the view. These were the special moments.
But soon, our views of London will be lost forever. Being a witness to this community and this area just falling apart as buildings are demolished and people who cannot afford to stay in this area anymore move away, it's quite saddening to see, because it's difficult to see this area that I've known for so long is slowly falling apart.
People use this place like it's a dumping ground where you can throw all your trash away because there's extra space and nobody lives here. But actually there are people who live here, and I love this place very much.
The way this block has been maintained can sometimes be a bit of an embarrassment to say, oh, I live here, but it's completely out of my control.
Paying for the mortgage, like for everyone, it's not easy. I work in a further education college, working full time, staying up late at work to make sure, I can actually do my work successfully so that I can hold on to my job so that I am able to pay my mortgage. Having my own home is extremely important. I want to actually hold on to it because it is about stability, it's about security, it's about my children. At the moment, they are knocking down the next door building, which is only about 10 meters away from our window. There used to be 99 families living in that building. Witnessing the demolition activity makes me feel very sad, worried, confused. My fear is that they would be coming next to ours, destroying my home. Getting the letter was a shocking moment. I remember when I read it, I was parked in the car with my daughter after taking her to school. And I was in shock. And after actually taking my daughter to school, I was not able to drive because the letter says, we are going to demolish your home. We are going to take your home. Why should it be demolished without a valid reason? Because it could be refurbished. And there is no reason why it should be demolished.
It's very hard. This house happiness is gone because of that letter.
So how do you feel about the letter and the fact that they want us to move out?
I feel I want to stay in school and I prefer to be here where I have grown up all my life.
I'm not entirely sure of everything, but from my perspective and from what I've seen and heard snippets of, the council are trying to kick us out of our home so they can create new homes for more affluent people.
This block used to be full of people coming from work, school run, and shopping. Unfortunately, we are the only one left in the block at the moment. To be one of the last ones is difficult. It's lonely, it's unsafe. There is a lot of fear. What will happen to me? What will happen to my family? I'm not prepared to give up my home. My family and I have decided to stay put. The last valuation from the council for my home was over a year ago. They valued my home at 285,000. As you see, 285, okay?
That's really low.
It is,
that's undervalued, especially for the area that we're in. I feel like that wouldn't get us much.
Absolutely.
Oh, that house, I think that's nice.
All right. That is 925,000. Very nice. What the council offered for the last 5 years especially is it is next to nothing, because every valuation they did was low.
I think the situation has affected my parents really negatively. I think my dad's taken on a lot of that whole stress that it's taken. I do worry sometimes about the effects of what this has on us.
How are you doing? How is the family?
Yeah, not bad, to be honest. Somehow we're surviving.
What do you think about the offers they are giving?
We don't have any option to sell the property to somewhere, like privately.
Yes.
And we are kind of in a trap. So we can just go anywhere. So whatever they value the property, we have to just kind of, they're forcing us to accept that.
the rock bottom
Yeah, so
valuation.
which is like, I feel like it's not fair. They offered me shared equity. Again, I said like, why should I just go for the shared equity where I have got the 100% ownership here?
Yeah.
Why should I just consider that?
So in an ideal situation, what do you really expect from the council?
To be honest with you, ideal solution like for both of us, from me and the council as well.
Yes.
Simple thing is that if they just provide me a similar property, I'm happy with that. Or they can just pay more money, enough money to just buy a similar property within this area.
Yes. What we are asking for is just simply for a fair deal, for justice. I don't think it is regeneration. It is gentrification that's happening because all the leaseholders I know have moved out of the area. I'm going downstairs to meet my friend Glenn. He used to live here in the States a year ago, so I want to get his views about me staying put to fight. Hello.
Yes, Yacob.
Glenn, so how is it like for you coming back to the States? I know you're not far, but how do you feel?
Coming back to the estate has been quite horrifying, to be honest. It looks like it's been neglected quite badly. Yeah, regeneration's going on, but there's a lot that's been neglected. This building should have been knocked down first. This has all the rats in it. This is most infested out of all of them. It seems like a lot of the residents have gone through a bad experience. A lot of the existing residents seem like they're quite lost. The community is just not the same. How do you feel being the last person living in the block? It must be quite dangerous.
It is unsafe. I feel vulnerable.
But I really do feel for you. I feel that all they're interested in is money.
Because slowly, as the process of regeneration has come in, it's become more and more neglected. There's a whole bird's nest growing, and it's crazy to think that this building hasn't been cleaned in months, or however long it hasn't, that there's an actual egg growing inside the nest and all the bird poo on the floor. It's just disgusting, really.
Every day it worries me and it causes a lot of stress. It feels like they want to take away the most important things to us.
This is very sad to look at. Symbolic of what's happening to our states. Neglected, damaged. So the effect on my daughters, the constant worry is on them as well. And firstly, it is actually taking away their childhood because they are supposed to be worry-free. Okay, Salim, more work on the CPO, yeah? And I think it's about time now we write a letter to the Secretary of State. My daughter, Salim, has done a lot of the writing herself as well, checking, editing. And she's 15 now, and she's started doing that from the age of 10, right from the start. I want it to be perfect, so please check it for me.
Yes, okay. I think if you change that here, it might work better if you write this instead. I do it willingly, and I know that whatever the outcome is, I know that it is a way of bonding me and my dad. But it's not in the most best of circumstances. Obviously, I would have liked if that was free time or spending time doing other things rather than talking about the situation.
So this home is an investment for my kids. And that is the main reason why I'm actually making this big fight. This is my home and it is my children's home. It's my children's future. I'm not going to give up.
worries me a lot the fact that when I go out and I see homeless people, that it could be me as well.
The way the council are going about this just isn't the right way. I don't see why leaseholders and people who bought their homes under right and just circumstances are being taken advantage of for profit of others.
There has to be negotiation, but negotiation doesn't happen. And the negotiation happens if it happens with a threat. And they try to value our home, but they have valued our home at every stage well below the market value.
I just want a fair deal with the council, and I understand it's business and they're trying to get the most money they can, but we need to be able to live a normal life. It's basic human rights, and we deserve to have a nice home that we can live in safely without any worries.
Look at that, how fast they built it. Wow.
It's just actually crazy how the demolition of the old building took longer than building the new building itself.
The old building was built to last a long time, and it was very strong, and it took a lot of energy to demolish.
I've noticed many changes in the past year. New buildings have been built, and it can feel a bit strange looking at the newer blocks and how, well, they look really nice and they're really lovely, and to just see the flip and the contrast of how the rest of the estate looks like and how the older buildings look really, you know, neglected and not cared for, can be a bit frustrating to look at.
When the building sound starts, you can't do nothing. You can't hear each other sometimes. The noise is very hard.
Morning time are usually harder because I do have to wake up earlier than I like to, because to make sure my wife leaves the building safely. There has been lots of security issues, especially in the last year.
They check the lifts.
They are checking everything, the lift, as if they are actually surveying our floor.
There have been people who deal drugs in the block and homeless people who come and sleep in the block, and it can make me feel really unsafe because you never know when you open the front door till you get outside of the building and onto the street what you will encounter. And I'd say at least every week we've encountered something different, something strange, something really frightening actually.
We are very fearful all the time. We feel like as if we are living under siege with constant attack in many different formats. Because of that, this is like a battleground, and I need to keep my family safe.
Feels like we're stuck in a place and our life has been paused, and I wish I could move on from this situation, but we can't.
I am on my way to see my friend Ali, who is also a community leader, to see how the new state looks like.
How you doing, man? You all right?
Right.
How's the family? I'm good, I'm good.
Nice place you have here. Yeah.
A few years back, the area was just scary. It wasn't inviting. It was, image-wise, there was a lot of drug dealing going on.
Yes, I see it is safe, especially with all the cameras. It is, cleaned very well, and they made it look nice. Yeah.
I'm really comfortable in the area now. I enjoy. I feel more safe for my kids to go play outside. It's wonderful. I really, really like it.
It was very nice of Ali to take the time to meet me today. I'm happy for him, and it's not for me and for my family. More than anything, I want to be able to pass on 100% to my children, not part of a home. Preparing for the inquiry is extremely demanding. It requires a lot of learning and a lot of work has to be done. The amount of hours just reading documents is a big ask. When demolition happens, it should be the last resort. The carbon actually used to build so many buildings is being wasted with a name of rebuilding energy-efficient buildings. And those new buildings are not as strong as the old ones.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you for taking your time to meet me this morning.
It's our pleasure.
We are both from the Bartlett School of Environment, Energy and Resources. And our focus in our research group is mainly around the sustainability of building. So we focus on how buildings perform in terms of energy consumption. So in this case, we can see that these are aluminium framed windows. Aluminium being a material that transmits heat quite quickly. That means once you heat your space, it will be cooled down quite quickly compared to other kinds of window frames such as plastic or timber.
One question I want to ask as well is the possibility of retrofitting. How would it be for this building?
So we did a bit of digging and we looked at how a building which is similar to this compares in terms of its energy performance.
Yes.
Its energy consumption wasn't the worst, and refurbishing this building, starting off from a good place, it would have taken it to a better place in terms of energy performance overall as well.
Our data shows that overall refurbishments do tend to be the better option compared to replacement. However, this is not a conclusive statement. It's not it can be reversed in some places because it really depends on the initial state of the building, but it also depends on the new proposal. It might be really robust, it might be really well insulated, might use really excellent building systems, etc. So it really depends on a particular case by case.
Developers are more used to building buildings than they are refurbishing buildings. So they have the tools and the knowledge that are geared towards understanding the impact of building new buildings and costing for that and understanding the implications. What a lot of them don't have is the tools and the knowledge surrounding retrofit or refurbishment.
What I found interesting from what you said from a resident point of view, when you relate to going to a GP, a doctor, Generally it is prevention is better than trying to cure after. Yeah, and if buildings are actually managed better, repaired regularly, and then the need for the refurbishment would be manageable, and there could be more resources to retrofit in a better way. So from the research, actually, there are actions we can do to actually improve the existing buildings instead of demolishing them. That would be extremely important for the inquiry.
My education and studying has been very vital to me. Say regarding my exams, especially leading up to them, I almost had to block out everything that happened within the home. I mean, I was very fortunate that my parents were able to deal with things and allow me to focus on my studies. And my school obviously were very helpful, and I was able to study at the library at school if the construction noise did get a bit too loud. But it wasn't easy, I'd say.
Yes, it is stressful to push you to the edge, yeah? But they, have kept their head high, focused on what they have to do, and really, they have been very resilient.
Two of them, they working hard with this situation, with this struggle, all the struggle, they study hard, and then they are nice point. I'm so happy.
In total, 9 A stars. So that was an amazing result.
I feel relieved when I see that I end up doing well academically, because even though we do go through struggles that maybe not everybody does go through, that my parents can also be proud of me. In 6 months' time, I hope that our family can either be living in a new home, whether that be in a flat or a house, just somewhere that we can call 100% our own, and just being able to live a normal life.
I'm only asking for justice. It's not greed, and the price of a home is just a home.
Details of organisations offering information and support are available at bbc.co.uk/actionline.